At the story's beginning, there's a fire in a building and firefighters are trying to extinguish the fire. Firefighter Kim Ya-hong falls from a building while saving a girl, but they land safely and the girl rushes toward her parents. Kim is happy to save the girl and goes to her family to ask her name. Nobody replies to Kim, and hearing his name, he turns around and is shocked to find himself dead. He is still thinking about how all this happened to him, and then two guardians, Haewon-mak and Lee Dok-chun, come to him. Chun calls him a great soul and praises him for saving the girl's life. They tell him that they'll take him from hell to heaven by defending him through 7 trials over 49 days. Seeing his body for the last time, Kim asks them to see his mother. Haewon-mak says there is nothing we can do now, and Kim goes through a portal to another world. The third and Guardians leader Gang Rim is at Kim's house, and leaves after seeing his mother and younger brother. At the afterlife's gate, Haewon-mak tells him about King Yomra, the judge of hell's filial impiety. He also introduces him to their leader, but Kim ignores Rim because he's still in shock. Rim has reincarnated 47 great souls in the past century, but Kim ignores him, saying he isn't a great soul. The Hell's Gate opens and they take him inside for the first trial. Inside, they reach the Hell's volcano, and seeing this, Haewon-mak asks Kim, "Did you kill somebody?" Kim says he didn't kill anyone, and Rim tells him King Yomra assigned your trial from a light sin to a heavy sin. Rim tells him if your past influenced someone's death, you'll face punishment. Chun closes her eyes and Haewon-mak tells him that she's scanning his list of charges. Chun opens her eyes and the scene rewinds to Kim's colleague being trapped in the building. Kim leaves without saving him. Next, we see the pit of hell where people are trying to get out. Kim tries to save a man, and seeing him do so, the god of murder becomes angry with him. The lawyers of hell read his case to the god and asked him to punish him. Kim says, "I didn't kill anyone," to which he is reminded of the scene where he left his colleague to die. Rim defends his case and tells the god how Kim took this difficult decision to save the girl's life. Apart from this case, Kim has always saved other lives, but here's scene was something like if he tried to save his colleague, he and the girl would die along with the man. The god determines that the murder charge was groundless and Kim is freed. They leave for the second trial, and on the way, they are attacked by monster fishes. The guardians manage to get rid of them and ask him not to see in the water. Rim tells him about the second court, Hell of Indolence, where those who whiled away their life in laziness and inaction are punished. Kim was presented by his guardians as someone who spent his free time helping others and working. As God decides to pass him the test, Kim blurts out that he only worked for the money. The god becomes angry and pushes his boat toward the water. Below, the evil spirits are being punished on top of a roundabout, after which they are eaten by fish. Kim is horrified to see this, and the guardians jump in to save him. Rim interjects that the only reason Kim did so was to earn money to support his ailing mother and his brother. Kim's actions are determined to be selfless, and he is freed. On the way to the Hell of Deceit, Rim throws him into the bladed bushes that start cutting his body. Rim says, "I told you not to break my promise, but you broke it and now you need some punishment." Rim tells him that by sending him to heaven, the 3 of them will be able to be reborn, for which Kim will have to support them. Kim forgets his words and lies in front of Indolence God. This makes Rim angry, but after a little punishment, he frees him. Kim learns that one of the perks of being reincarnated would be that he would be given the ability to communicate to anyone living through their dreams once. Along the way, they are attacked by ghouls and notice the physics of hell beginning to operate differently. This change indicates that a member of Kim's family had died with a grudge and has become a vengeful spirit. Before going to the next court, Rim tells Kim that someone in your family has died and wants to take revenge on you by becoming an evil spirit. Kim is a bit shocked to hear this and thinks that maybe her mother is dead, who was angry about his death. Rim tells his team that I will go out into the world to investigate and asks his 2 companions to guard him. Gang Rim leaves the party to investigate and the rest make their way to the court. The Hell of Deceit, Kim is accused of writing fake letters to the family of those who had died, one of whom is Ji-yeon, the daughter of his fallen superior, making him a liar. Gang Rim manages to use a connection he has with Dok-chun to defend his actions, stating that Kim had also written fake letters to his mom to cheer her up, allowing her to focus on her health. His letters to Ji-yeon, despite her actually understanding that her father was dead, also helped her to cope with her loss. The evidence is thrown out and the charges are dismissed. Rim goes to his house where he learns that Kim's mother is alive and is then attacked by an evil spirit. He chases her, but the spirit is too powerful and disappears from his sight. After that, Rim travels to Su Hong's military camp, where the buzz is that Su Hong, who was about to be discharged, had deserted and was nowhere to be found. He finds that Su Hong has been accidentally killed while on guard duty by his partner Dong Yian, and his death was covered up by his superior Lieutenant Park. Gang Rim foils an attempt by Su Hong to kill Dong Yian and learns that the reason for Su Hong becoming a vengeful spirit wasn't Kim leaving and not coming home till he was a dead body, but his anger and sense of betrayal towards Dong Young and Lieutenant Park. Dong Yian tips off the Su Hong's mother on the location of his body and attempts suicide. He is saved by Gang Rim on Su Hong's request after the latter agreed to cooperate. As Kim, Haewon-mak, and Dok Chun walk away from court, Rim talks to Kim through the portal. Rim tells him that your mother is alive, which gives Kim a sigh of relief. Kim asks him then, what evil soul wants to take revenge on me when I have never misbehaved with anyone? Kim asks him then, what evil soul wants to take revenge on me when I have never misbehaved with anyone? Rim tells him that your brother Su Hong is dead and his soul wants revenge from you. Kim, Haewon-mak, and Dok Chun pass through the hells of injustice and betrayal without trial. In the hell of violence, Kim is tried for beating up Su Hong when they were younger and the latter was suffering from malnutrition. As Kim was not forgiven, he is convicted and is about to be punished when Gang Rim instructs Dok Chun to request for a combined trial at the next court, the hell of filial impiety, as the situation is linked. The request is granted. Kim reveals that the motivation for him beating up Su Hong was that, at that time, the family was poor and their mother was ailing. Kim has intended to suffocate his sleeping mother, then kill Su Hong and himself from a drug overdose, but was discovered. In a fit, he beat up Su Hong and fled the family home in shame and guilt, opting not to be a burden and dedicate his life to supporting them. Gang Rim, Su Hong, and his mother arrive at the army base only to witness her shabby treatment at the hands of Lieutenant Park. Enraged, Su Hong transforms back into his vengeful spirit form and lashes out, damaging the army base in an attempt to harm Lieutenant Park and only stopping when he realizes how his actions are affecting Kim in the afterlife. At the hell of filial impiety, Kim is immediately judged by Yomra to be guilty. He learns that on the night of his attempted murder-suicide, he had assumed that his mother was sleeping when he was about to suffocate her, when in reality she was awake and aware and had decided to allow it, knowing that she was a burden on her family. With his sins also compounded by him being away from his family for 15 years and not seeking forgiveness. Su Hong, with the help of Gang Rim and Haewon-mak, enters his mother's dream and learns that she had already forgiven Kim for that night. Since sins that have been forgiven in the living world are not allowed to be judged in the afterlife, Kim is allowed to be reincarnated. Gang Rim realizes that Yomra had been meddling with his investigation in the living world. He decides to confront Yomra directly and chooses Su Hong to be the next and last soul that the Guardians need to attain their own reincarnation. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing videos.